Drew Campbell, president and co-founder of NiHTEK, Nature's Innovative Health Technologies. And I'm with here Dr. Reid Reale, my brother from another mother. How you doing, man?
Fantastic, great to be here.
Good. This is our first of many videos with Dr. Reid. We've actually been friends for a number of years, worked on a number of different projects, but this is the first and official video welcoming Dr. Reid to Team NiHTEK.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here and super happy to be involved and excited about what we've got in store.
Absolutely. And Dr. Reid, firstly, a little bit about your background and what you've been doing in this sports nutrition industry for the last many decades.
Yeah, I guess kind of top level is I'm a sports dietitian, advanced sports dietitian with the sports dietitians in Australia. Also PhD scientist. I've had a number of different roles throughout the years. Did my PhD at the Australian Institute of Sport, which is like our Olympic training centre, as you're aware of.
The AIS.
The AIS, focusing on weight category sports and in particular combat sports. Was a dietitian with all the Olympic athletes in the combat sports in the lead up to the Rio Olympic Games. Post-PhD, I moved to the US, worked with Gatorade Sports Science Institute for several years, working with US pro sports and continuing to do some sports science and sports nutrition research before moving to China, where I took up the role as Director of Performance Nutrition at the UFC-PI in Shanghai.
The Ultimate Fighting Championships, the UFC, very, very cool. Yeah, Reid and I have a lot in common, and I think one of them, the obvious one, we're both Aussies, we're both Australian, but have resided in other countries for many years, and obviously the other commonality we have is sports nutrition, the love of sports nutrition.
Yeah, and I think for myself personally, as is the case with a lot of people, that comes from like our own personal interest in health and exercise, right? So I've been lifting weights for 20 years, competing in Jiu-Jitsu for almost 20 years. So you're always looking for ways to improve your own health, which then kind of bleeds out into what you want to do professionally and help others.
Yeah, you're a black belt in BJJ, correct?
Third degree, actually.
Oh, sorry, third degree black belt in BJJ. That's very, very cool. Yeah, and I think that's one thing, Reid is very, very famous in the global industry because he's not just a nerd, a PhD, but he also is a nerd that can kick your ass. And, one of the things in sports nutrition, and this is one I think that is a big difference in PhDs in sports nutrition versus other areas, is they often walk the talk. And I think the passion and love of sports nutrition, of being your level best, transitions into the study and the love for study as well.
For sure, 100% agree. And it's also the case often with sports science and sports nutrition. It's like we start off as athletes wanting to pursue that career. We're kind of not good enough to make it in the athlete sphere. So you find another way to still be surrounded with athletes and people who love sport. So you kind of move into the professional space working with athletes.
I think that's true with entrepreneurs as well. I mean, I started lifting weights when I was 12 years old. With the ambitions, before I knew the realities of bodybuilding, with the ambitions of being a pro bodybuilder when I was 12 years old.
Well, you've got the height for it.
I've got the height for it. Yeah, I am standing in a box at the moment. Fake it till you make it. But however, yes, the bodybuilding was not necessarily something I was gifted for, so I ended up being an entrepreneur in the sports nutrition field instead. Good. Well, Dr. Reid, thank you for joining Team NiHTEK. And as we say at Team NiHTEK, there is no I in team. However, there is an I in
protein.